Yeah, I was going to show some stuff about a certain perp and all that, but he ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. I mean, he comes in here and makes a comment and then retracts it. So I'm not going to even stress on that. He had enough issues with chump pathetic perps that I have to deal with, and I don't give a shit about that one. So anyway, I'm not going to trip on that. Or them or him, whatever. Got enough going on in the world without worrying about some punk ass gangstalkers anymore. I got better things to do. But like I said, I haven't been on here and doing anything for a while. But here I am, just sitting here right now for the moment. Gonna sit here, play my guitar, maybe jabber a little bit in case somebody wants to come in and chat. Somebody that isn't an asshole or a perp that just wants to come in and chat. But I have been sharing some things on my community page that have to do with BCI and AI, and that everyone else is coming up to speed with these fuckers reading people's thoughts and fucking with our dreams and harassing us with B2K and what other new and exciting horrors these gangstalkers can come up with. The godfather of AI quit working at Google because he saw the direction it's going into and he wants to talk about it. So he's been talking about it. So I just see I have one person in here looking. I don't know. Hi there, one viewer. Trying to make sure my guitar is in tune. Messing around. Sharp, a little sharp maybe. I had it tuned down a half a step yesterday, day before yesterday, to play some Van Halen stuff. Having trouble getting it easy. New strings. Pretty close to 10 right now. Not sure. Can't tell for sure. It's close enough though. I think it'll be okay. Now, I can sit here and I don't know how well you can hear my voice. I don't care about that part. As long as you can hear the music, nobody wants to hear me talk anyway, right? Not really interested in hearing me talk, right? I'm not either. My cigarette keeps getting in the way of the microphone, bumping the microphone, getting in my way. So, like, it was the other day I was watching a video somebody else made. I don't remember who it was. I posted a link for it on my community page and one of those links at the top. And talking about the AI mind reading, BCI mind reading, and how they're able to do it. And it's coming to pass, and I'm like, the whole time I'm thinking is, yeah, they've been doing it to me and other people for fucking like 5 or more years now. It's not like it's something new. It's just that they've been keeping it under a box and tormenting people with it. But the main moral of the story is all they ever talk about is how they plan on using it to help in paraplegics and people that are paralyzed and haven't got the ability to speak or move or whatever. But the only fucking problem is they're not using it for any of that. They're just experimenting with that. But they're more than happy to torture innocent people on the street with it and harass them while they sleep and mutilate their bodies with it, rot their teeth out, fuck with their eyesight, scream at them on voice to skull in their dead loved one's voice or whatever, and make them think they're hearing their dead loved ones speak. It's a wonderful thing, isn't it? A wonderful technology. Someday, hopefully soon, when they decide to implement some laws against synthetic telepathy harassment, and the more news stations like NBC, ABC, and whoever keeps talking about the ability to mind reading and the horrors that they can inflict on people with it, something good might happen. But right now, with never-ending wars going on over there in the Middle East and wherever else the fuck they're going on, whatnot, and the clown circus that our House of Representatives seems to be right now. And Mango Mussolini and all his court proceedings. Yeah. Like they got other things on their mind right now rather than worrying about down home terrorists like gangstalkers. As I see, I got nobody in here, which is not going to stop me from talking. So, the more this shit goes on, the more people keep talking about it, the more people it keeps happening to. yeah, I don't really have a big idea about how to handle it, short of protocols on the BCI device headsets and AI to corroborate whether the individual that is being spectated or harassed, whatever, has the ability to consent. You know, I mean, if it can and does seem to read your mind, it would be able to discern whether or not the individual is willing to be inflicted by this type of torture. It would be, readily available that the person could say "fuck you," and that would be the end of it. But it isn't. So, like, the longer it goes on, the more of these people, perps, uh, antagonize targets, harass targets, defame targets, impersonate targets with AI and deep fakes, use the V2K to listen into what they're thinking and then spread that around and then manipulate what is said to take it out of context, or just flat out to copy your voice and say you said some ridiculous, ignorant, redundant shit that you didn't say or do. Not to mention when you're sleeping, And the dream movies. Like my pathetic gangstalker neighbor that says she used to drum for the Go-Go's, or she says she was the manager for Quiet Riot. But for the most part, you have one, I guess I should call it saving grace, that you yourself know yourself. And regardless of the intent of these subversive, egomaniacal, psychotic perturbers that gangstalkers are, no matter how they subject you to, I guess you would say, their will, you do have a will of your own and a mind of your own. No matter how far-fetched or demeaning they get about you, you have to hold true to the you that is you, I guess. Yeah, a little bit of philosophical romanticizing there, but for lack of a better word, absolution. You have the absolution of knowing that no matter the lies, the degradation, the antagonization, the struggle that they put you through, as the protagonist, that all these antagonists can only do to you and make you feel a certain kind of way as you will allow it. So, like when you have people in your chat or on the street, in your face, whatever, you can only let them push you as far as you're willing to go, if you understand what I mean. They can scream, they can holler, they can talk about your past or what they might know of it or what they've imagined of it or created of it or the dimensions of it. Still, in the end, no matter what the premise, you're still you. And you're going to be you after that. After the fire, after the flame, you're still going to be you. You may be a little singed. You may feel burnt you may have a little bit of a scar, but the scars that we have, scars like this big scar right here, this big scar, that's unique to me. That's my scar. That's one of my scars. Or this scar. Scar on my arm right here. This scar right here under my finger. The white spot. That scar. Or this big long scar along my arm right here. It goes along my arm right here. Or that broken nose you might have. Or the shitty teeth that you have. Or the donkey ears that you have. Or the balding head that you have. Or the flat ass or the small penis. All that shit. That's still you, right? All those things. Hairy fingers, right? Like I got hairy fingers. I got hairy fingers, right? I got some hairy motherfucking, I got some mitts. I got some hairy mitts. I got some big ass mitts. Big old fucking mitts. But that's unique to you. Like the hair on my head, I have every different color hair. I have like calico hair. My wife calls me the calico. So I have yellow, white, black, brown, red hair on my face, in my hair. I had all these different colors. All these different colors. Black, red, yellow. Black fucking eyebrows, right? Black ass eyebrows, but they're still red in there. And I got, I got these mood ring eyes that when my mood changes, my eyes change color. And she likes to say when they turn kind of purple or violet, it's time not to talk to you. Because you're not in a good mood or whatever. But I frequent some of the other, a few other people's channels, a few other targeted individuals, a few people that have nothing to do and have no idea what the fuck targeting is about or gangstalking is about. See, but when I'm in talking with those people, I do what I can not to talk about being targeted because it's a different universe. For the most part, they either don't have a clue what you're talking about, or they either don't want to hear what you're talking about, or they want to hear what you're talking about and have and ask just so many fucking questions you can't answer them all. Or then you got the ignorant ones that don't want to hear anything. Don't want to hear anything about that. They don't want to have any kind of negativity or any kind of trials and tribulations presented to them. And you just have to look at a person and look in their eyes and see what kind of a state they're in before you can actually presume that they might be interested in hearing about the shitty day you're having or the shitty life you're having, or so you have to expect that maybe maybe the subject is a little bit too hard for someone to listen to. I mean, I'm not one to be afraid of anything, but I imagine there are people that even hearing about it, it scares the shit out of them. Just the thought of some fucking psychopath group of idiots reading your fucking thoughts and screaming at you 24/7 where no one else can hear it but them, and you, or following you around, in their vehicles and talking to you and your dead relative or loved one's voice, like it's some kind of Ghost Hunters episode. And then you've got the I use the term loosely, people, when I say perps, because they have no emotions. They have no compassion. It's all fake. Everything about them is fake. It's all designed to interject into your being a semblance of fate, that you're fated to this existence of being persecuted by these slimy fuckers for the rest of your life. But, as I go back to what I was saying about you can only let them take you as far as you're willing to go. Einstein once said that your imagination is only limited by your ability to explain it. So basically what he means is if you can't explain something to someone in terms they can understand, you don't know it well enough yourself. So I try to anymore keep gangstalking inside the little Schrodinger's cat box, where it's either alive or dead until you open the box. Now, if you want to just constantly rant about it and expect people to understand, you're in for a hard day. I'm just saying, you're in for a hard life if you expect people to understand what the fuck you're talking about when you're talking about this shit. Because for the most part, and I'm sure this goes across the board as far as being targeted, for the first year that you understood that people were talking to you and no one else could hear them, or whatnot, and things were happening to your identity and weird shit was happening to you, you didn't know what the fuck was going on for the first year or more yourself. You were like, what Twilight Zone episode is this? And I'm sure just like me, and in that respect, every one of you have got to the point where for a while their bullshit kind of, you're like, it's the whole thing is crazy enough that for a short time, no matter what they tell you, you're like, what the fuck, right? I mean, The whole shit is so crazy that that's possible. Well, it's not. It's not. It's all pretty simple. It's demented, psychotic people that, for whatever purpose, have got it in for you now. What you might have said to some asshole that desperately deserved it, or you hurt somebody's fifis a little bit, and now they've decided that they're gonna use this situation against you for the rest of your life, or whatnot. Like, should maybe you have had a neighbor that you couldn't see his wife standing there, and you asked that neighbor about a little bit of pot if he had any more weed, and he said, "Oh no, she's here," and you're like, "Oh fuck," and then from that moment on, the bitch leaves him because he's an asshole and he's been lying to her about smoking pot all this time, and now you're the problem, right? It's all your fault. Or you got some racist bitch sitting here in your house, and she starts spouting the N word, and you tell her, "Look, bitch, don't say that fucking word in my house." And from that point on, that cunt is got it in for you for the rest of your life because she's a fucking racist slime bag, and you caught her in it. Yeah, those are personal experiences. Or you've got some fucking asshole that you were trying to draw some pictures, and they're talking about they want to help you and blah blah blah, and then one day that screaming motherfucker is following you around in his big black truck, and from that point on, you're being persecuted by everybody in the fucking community, right? But yeah, isn't that right, John? Isn't that right? But anyway, they still pretend to be your friend because they don't know what's going on, blah blah blah. You're crazy, but it's happening, but you're fucking crazy, right? Or maybe your next door neighbor calls the police and gives them a false report that you're harassing them, so you got to be, you're picked up, or something like that. Just any thing that seems like a coincidence. Well, if you're targeted now, coincidences are not as readily apparent as coincidences anymore. I used to sit here. I used to have, pardon me, I'm going to fart. Excuse me. Shit has to happen. You have to fart. People fart. People burp. People shit. They do it. They piss. They do it. Yeah, they do those things. And sometimes at inopportune times when you have no control over it. And I'm not going to sit here and speculate on that. But as I was saying, you have to just be yourself regardless of these. I hate this word, evil people. I hate that word. But it's a lot better than saying fascist Nazi scumbags. But, mixed knocks to me. Pretty much the same thing. for the most part, they just hate, and they have nothing else in their life other than hate, and that's what they live for. And I say that's what they live for because that's what these scumbags on B2K are always saying. Oh, this is what we live for. We live for this. We live for this shit. We live to cause you trouble and pain, and we love it when you're angry, and we love it when you're unhappy, and when shit goes bad for you, because that's what they want. That's what they're happy. That's when they're, I can't really say happy because these people are never happy. They're never satisfied, and they never have enough. And they never will have enough. If they were given the Midas touch and were able to turn everything to gold, they would still be unsatisfied and want more. But like, like it or not, it is what it is. I don't have all the answers. If I knew how to stop them, I'd be more than happy to tell you. If I knew how to capture them in a nice little box with a bow on it, I'd be happy to tell you. But the most I can do is throughout the time I've done the research about the subject, being a targeted individual and having to understand what the hell is going on. I've learned a lot about the brain-computer interface technology and the artificial intelligence in tandem with it and how they use it. And the things that I have found, I have represented to you. And if you haven't looked at my community page at all, at any of the links, you don't have a clue what I'm talking about. You don't know that this shit's everywhere, and that they know it's everywhere. But they try to put a shiny happy bow on it that they're all trying to progress it for the benefit of people, when for the most part they're not using it for anything but torture and harassment and mutilation and death. Now I've seen a lot of stuff about how everybody's afraid of how AI is going to destroy the world and this and that and the other thing. Well, AI isn't what's going to destroy the world. A computer can do nothing without a person to tell it what to do. Now, somebody has to tell that AI what to do. Somebody has to program it. Somebody has to program that BCI. Somebody has to automate that computer. It will only do the horrible things that a human has taught it to do. That's period. That's period. That's it. That's computers are ones and zeros. They don't think. They don't comprehend, and they don't imagine. So they will only do what a sick fucking human that was sitting behind the keyboard taught it to do. So all these people that say, they're afraid of AI and all of the horrors of it, well, you have to look at yourself, because you created that monster. You programmed it. You gave it the ability. And now it's out of your hands. You created brain-computer interface. And regardless if your intentions were to help people medically or physically or whatever, well, you gave these terrorist scumbags the ability to torture people with it. You gave them the tools to do this. So if anybody's responsible, granted the gangstalkers are responsible for what they're doing with it, but the people who created it are responsible for them having the tools. And there's another old saying, evil will only prosper when good men do nothing. So don't be that one good man doing nothing, or woman. Not a, I'm not gonna put that box up there where you got to be a man or a woman. So keeping that in mind, understand, like I said, you can only allow them to push you as far as you're willing to go. Should they drive a target to hurt someone or whatever, that's only because they pushed him far enough, that person or her, far enough to that point where they felt like they had no other action or recourse and they had to lash out. Now, like me, for instance, I've been sitting here dealing with this shit and living with it for years now. I'm not going to try and speculate how many. It's been probably 5 years at the least now. But during the beginning, for the first year and a half, I got really angry a lot. I got really angry a lot, and I lashed out a lot. And you can only do that so many times before you realize that you're striking out at something that you can't see, something you can't touch, and something you can't stop. So it doesn't do anything but cause you physical grief and pain yourself. Because in the long run, if you're angry, you're stressed. If you're stressed, your body degrades. Your body degrades, you die. So, as I've said, you can only allow these. They can only push you as far as you will allow them to push you. Like I said, I used to come on here, used to do panels, used to talk to people, and have a live show every Friday night. I don't do that anymore. I don't intend to do that anymore. For the most part, all that would do was give the perps a place to come and harass you, and to harass people that showed up in your channel, or to come up on your panel and make racist comments, or peen bomb you, or moon you, or harass people in your chat, or just be an utter moron. So that's why that's why Fridays are no longer a thing here, because it was becoming a circus every week. The same clowns coming in and harassing the same people and doing the same moronic bullshit and spreading the same misinformation and lies, and trying to demean the people in here that we're trying to help each other. So that's not going to happen in here anymore. You don't see me showing you a StreamYard link to come in here. So now, should somebody come in here that legitimately has a reason that would like to come in and chat with me, that's perfectly fine. I would probably allow them up. But at the first sign of deceit and whatnot, they would be removed. But I'm not going to stick a chat link up there just so any person can just jump up here and be a belligerent asshole at their willy-nilly, at their leisure. I mean, I'm going to turn 50. Shit. 59 years old, I think. I can't remember. 58 or 59. It gets hard to remember what fucking age you are when you're my age. Anyway, sometime this month. And I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna be cavorting with immature, belligerent people. I'm just not gonna do it. I have COPD. The last week or so, it's been kicking my ass. I think it's working me over pretty good. I mean, the doctor tells you have COPD and you ask them, how long have you got? And they say, well, we don't know. You could have 5, 10, 15 years, whatever. Just depending on how fast it progresses. Well, I'm not looking at that. I'm not counting days. I'm not saying, oh, well, I've got 6 months left, or I've got 2 years left, or 3 years left. I'm not sitting here doing that. I'm not going to do that. And I've just realized I don't feel like I want to sit here and cater to slime balls that want to come in here and harass people and come into the chat and be an obnoxious asshole or on the stream. I mean, I'm not saying everybody was. We've had a lot of people in here that were actually legitimately having trouble and wanted to talk about gangstalkers and what they're doing to them. But then you've got the jokers that want to do their game. And I'm not putting up with that shit. I don't have time left to deal with that. So, that being said, there's a lot to learn about brain-computer interface technology combined with AI and humans using it for this clandestine project or whatever you want to call it. Some people call it the program. Some people call it the script, blah, blah, blah. I really don't give a fuck. I don't really care about their name, gangstalkers. That name kind of leaves something out. That kind of implies that they're stalking gangs. Well, no, they're a gang of stalkers. They're a gang of people that stalk other people. And targeted individuals are their preferred people to stalk of choice. Now, over the time, I've realized and understand that they're targeting everyone. They're targeting you, even though you might not know it. They're targeting everyone. It's just some of us get the privilege of being the prime target, I guess, and the focus of their attention and their fanhood. They all like to say they're your biggest fan. That's really funny. And like I said, I've spent quite a bit of time watching other people and looking at their channels and seeing what they have to say about their being targeted. And for the most part, as they continue to talk, um, they keep getting in more and more angry as their video progresses, or they start off plain angry. Um, that doesn't help them, and it doesn't help anybody else. For the most part, what I think that does is it turns people off. So I I sympathize and I understand that being targeted, you're angry and you're hurt because they do hurt you. They cause you physical pain. They cause you emotional pain. They cause you stress, anger, anxiety, distrust. And it's a continuous character assassination and defamation. And then there's other parts where they throw on a name tag, like you see my name, Scott Schmehr there. Well, there's one running around here that has a Z before the Scott. And they run around here using, for the most part, my name, but with a different variation. Other people have the same issue. But I'm here to tell you that's not the only thing they're doing. They're using AI and BCI and whatever other little tools that they've got to impersonate you. They're using your voice wherever they might be streaming their BS at, and have a lot of people snowed that maybe you've been there and been frequenting that showcase, they like to call them. At least that's what my gangstalkers like to say. Showcase this motherfucker, they say. Let's showcase this. Or, ooh, that's what you think. This and the other thing. I could quote these fuckers verbatim, but that's kind of pointless. But for the most part, what you're going to hear from perps is no one is gang stalking you. Why would anybody gang stalk you? You're not important. Why would anybody care about you? Blah 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 bullshit. Well, if I knew exactly why they were targeting you and why these scumbags were doing this, I would have a better handle on how to stop them and how to fight them. Over the years, I've tended to think it was money, um, or data, or just outright hate. But I don't think there's any one little check mark that you can say that all of this is about. Whether it be your sexual orientation, your age, your health, whether you're poor, whether you're rich, whether you're an asshole, whether you're not, whether you fucking pissed in somebody's Wheaties or you didn't. I don't think they really need a reason. That's what I've come to. They don't need a reason. The main reason is they're just bad fucking people. And that's the reason. They're shitty people and they get off on it. They get some kind of thrill, whether some rich tycoon son of a bitch is paying them, I really don't give a fuck. They had to agree to it. And they have to do it because they enjoy it. Because, in my opinion, there's no amount of money that could persuade me to be a gangstalker, to do what's being done to me and other people I know that are targets. No amount of money or power. I don't care. I see I have one faithful viewer here. Hi, faithful viewer. How are you? If you have the ability to text and say hello, that's fine. If you don't, I'll assume that you're most likely, doing some shit like restreaming or whatever. I don't know. I don't really give a shit. But I think that I'm about ready to call this video a video. Unless, of course, I sit here for a minute, I think of something of pertinent information. Now, I could sit here and, since I really don't care about monetization or whether YouTube sticks a red hot poker up my ass about showing some other information that might be someone else's, I don't really do that unless I have something that I think is really important to share. And like I said, I have some videos linked on my community page just at the top, just here lately, that are really pretty important because they come from news sources, about what I and other targets have been talking about for several years now, the ability to read your fucking mind and just do whatever they want in your head. Now, this is not me. This is not what I've been telling you for 4 years on my channel, but it is the same thing. It's just now they're finally catching up. The FBI is catching up. The news is catching up. Other people are catching up to the horrors that these people are inflicting on others with BCI and AI. And I have showed you a webinar that has actual scientists having a webinar about the ins and outs of these tools and how they're used in a group, and how the group will be connected on BCI, and they will come to a consensus between the group, and then they will present this consensus to the AI program, and then use the AI to come up with a course of action. And if they agree with it, they will follow it. Now, that's a webinar. That's a YouTube webinar. There's also news programs. Ari or whatever the hell his name is, was talking about the mind reading that they're able to do with technology now. And I've been telling you about that for fucking 5 years now, or 4 years, and I'm not the only one. And the reason I've been telling you about it is because they're doing it to me. They've been doing it to me. They've been fucking me over in my dreams, fucking me over sitting here, fucking me over in the street, wherever you're at. So I'm here to tell you, if you're in the middle of the woods or in the middle of town and all of a sudden you hear your fucking dead mother speaking to you, don't freak out, because it's not a ghost. It's fucking gangstalkers using voice to skull on you. So go ahead and go through my community page and look at some of those links if you're so inclined. Um, you can look at some of the comments that I've made. I have some information about people I know are involved in my situation, but you don't have to look at that. It's not important that you look at that. That's mostly for my benefit and for theirs, so that they know that, kind of like, I see you, motherfucker, that kind of thing. And I remember and I know, and I'm not going to let you stay anonymous. And I will say that to other targets. If you know who they are, fucking with you, following you, harassing you, don't be afraid to say it. Because the worst they're going to do to you is claim that you doxed them. And to be honest, they're going to give you a fine, and there ain't a fucking thing they can do about it. So, and I'm poor. They can say, give me money all they want. Well, they're not going to get it because I don't have it. So I really don't care. Sue me, cry, whine, lament. I really don't care. I know who you are, and I plan on letting everybody else know who you are. And I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. Because you've been doing worse than doxing me over the years with however many millions of people it is. I mean, I go back to the video I made that somebody in Malaysia stole and ran on YouTube and got 2.6 million views, and I only got 26 on my channel. But somehow that video got 2.6 million views there. But of course I didn't get a gold button. I didn't get no play button. I didn't get any kind of recognition for those 2.6 million views, even though it's my own personal video, my own personal work. But I'm not really pissed off. I am pissed off about it, but there ain't fucking diddly shit I can do about it, so I'm not going to sit here and cry about it. But I can talk about it because it is my video, and they used it, and they spread it and spread it and spread it, and I'm sure they've spread other things about me along with it. So, along with the impersonation and the other regrettable behavior that they tend to present around the world. And I have maintained that this is a global epidemic, and it isn't getting any better, and it isn't going to get any better until things like have been happening, the news and the FBI look at it, or the Five Eyes look at it, or CIA, whoever that has possibly the power to do something about it. Because a guy like me sitting in my RV in a shitty trailer park is not going to be able to change the world. At least this part of the world. So that being said, keep your stick on the ice and watch Red Green. You'll laugh your fucking ass off. So have a good night.